Hey YouTube, what is up? How is everybody doing today? I hope your days are going good and your lives are going even better. That we are going to be jumping into the band known as The Warning with their song called Red Hands Never Fade. So, at the release of my last video from The Warning, people were like, but at the very end of the last song of Stalker, she's already killed him. But here's me being an analytical prick, being like, in nowhere, shape or form here does it say there's any form of death or torture. That is just the opinion of the person who wrote the song, and even if they wrote the song, even if they understand everything about it, it doesn't change my interpretation of what I hear. So for me, just judging from that first two lines, tell me what I must do to atone, is kind of telling me that the kill happened off screen. So say, like, you know, in a movie, when you see when the knife come down but you don't quite see it happen, like, that's exactly how it is. Like, that's how I envision it, just from how this one kind of looks from the very beginning. Because now she's trying to atone for something that was never physically stated that actually happened. Like, to me anyway. But that's just me being pedantic, I think, to be perfectly honest with you. But still, man. Let's show this. We got the live, obviously. I would hope you're used to my style of content by now, to be honest. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into this show.
Tell me what I must do to atone for what I did to your soul. Tell me to step over fire. What is your desire? 'Cause it is done. One word and it'll be done. That game you already won. Invincible, I am bleeding. I'm pleading. Listen to me. I know that it was just a mistake, but you don't forgive and you don't forget. Yeah, you don't forgive. To tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright when we take another step closer to our demise. To tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright, but we know it ain't. 'Cause red hands never fade.
Whoa, man, there is so much to break down in that one fucking line, in that one verse even. Fucking hell. So let's start with the episode. Tell me what I must do to atone for her sins. Like, that alone just tells me that the person she's been stalking is now dead. For what I did to your soul, as in, like, she didn't just kill him, she feels like she ripped out his soul in the process. Like, after she killed him, it was like literally destroying his soul, not just him in general. It's not quite stated how bad she destroyed him. Like, I'm assuming if she's talking about his soul, she might have, like, fucking stabbed him 100 times for all I know. Like, I have no idea, I have no context to go on, so I can imagine it as deeply disturbed as I really want to, in all honesty. And from just how it's described here, it sounds like it's very, very over the top and very, very, like, it's like a fucking dirty kill, you know what I mean? Tell me to step over fire. What is your desire? As in, like, she's literally talking to the body right here. Like, you can see it. Like, this is definitely somebody starting to go a bit loopy. Somebody starting to come to comprehend with, oh shit, I really did stalk this person, kill this person, and now I'm just kind of talking to myself, having two separate different minds within my head going at once. I'm wondering where the fuck I'm going to really go with this, how I'm going to get away with this, how I'm going to do all these kinds of things. You can see her, like, talking to the body but talking to herself almost as much in the process. Because it is done, one word, and it will be done. The game you already won, invisible, I am bleeding. Because it is done, like, the murder is done. Like, this would be the point where, like, yes, it's totally done because it's said right here. Like, you see that moment? That's basically, like, she basically just finished stabbing him and she's like, oh shit, tell me, what must I do to atone for this? I didn't mean to do this. What did I do to your soul? How did I fuck this up so much? I'll step over fire. I would do anything to stop this. Because it is done. Like, like, you see what I mean? Like, it's done. Like, that's literally, like, the one word that you needed in this. If that makes any kind of sense. The game you already won, like the game in her head was the stalking, and like because he died, he won basically because he will never be with her now. Like, it's a very fucked up way to think about it, but it's literally how it happened. You know what I mean? Invisible, I am bleeding. Like, emotionally, I am bleeding. Like, in her mind, emotionally, she is bleeding. She is falling apart. In a sense, she's starting to snap. I'm pleading, listen to me. I know that it was just a mistake, but you don't forgive and you don't forget. Like, listen, like, she's pleading with the body, pleading for him to come back to life, for it to all be a bad fucking nightmare, for it to all just be different to how it is right now. And know that it was just a mistake when it was basically premeditated murder. She got him alone into a room at the end, she just fucking stabbed him. Like, she was so obsessed that obsession just led to that version of murder, and it's just like, yeah. Yeah, you don't forgive. To tell you that it's alright. To tell you. Let me just come. To tell you. To tell me. To tell you that it's alright. So it's up to me to tell you, for you dead on the floor, to tell me that I fucked up. Like, to say that it's okay, to say that everything is okay, and she'll never get that closure. She'll always have a red hand, so to speak. When we take another step closer to our demise, like, because we know it's a ticking time bomb now for when she either gets caught, or somebody gets justice, or some other stuff happens to it. It depends how she handles this. I'm assuming it's not going to be very well, just from what we've seen so far. But we to tell you that it's alright, but we know it ain't. As in, we know that we fucked up, because red hand will never fade. Like, red hands never fade is kind of like a really unique quote, as in a way of saying that blood will never leave your hands, in essence. Like, that's really how I kind of view it. Either way, let's keep going. That was a fucking long tangent by me, and I'm so sorry for like how much I had to break that down, but still. Let's keep going. And basically, because it's like 3 long verses, basically, like, well, this is kind of chorus, but you know what I mean. So, I'll break it down into 2, and then this bit is basically already done, and we'll just kind of go over it after that point, man. So, tell me, when did you get to decide? Was it a matter of pride? As in, tell me, talking to the dead body, obviously. When did you get to decide that you were allowed to leave this world? And was it a matter of your pride of not wanting to be with me to that point where I just ended your entire existence? If it is the price of betraying, what is it I am paying? Like, if it's the price of betraying, like, is it a form of betrayal from your part or my part? Is it, like, what is it that I'm actually paying towards? It's like, I know that I ended your life, but is it that point where, what will I have to pay in to kind of compensate what I've just done? It's definitely overdue. Your reason is overdue. So instead of like going towards that logic, she's going towards like your reasoning is so overdue that I need to know why you just did not want to be with me. Was it something else? Like, come on, I just want the truth. Do I resemble the rage and the chains that tied you down? Do I resemble your past relationships, the chains of like I don't know if the person was married. I could assume the person to marry the person was with a person who was abusive. Like, any number of reasons to just be like it's just a simple fact of like the guy wasn't attracted to the girl. You know what I mean? It's just a very simple fact. But the way she is so twisting it in her own favour, it's interesting to say, at the very least. I know that it was just a mistake, but you don't forgive and you don't forget, yeah. And yeah, then we've just basically up to that chorusy part right here, and that's all part of that first, man. So she's basically starting to go a bit crazy, starting to be like, I want answers, I want to know why you forced me to go down to this horrific means that ended your life and destroyed your soul, and probably destroyed her soul in the process also. Wait, either way, let's keep going. Okay, awesome. That was epic, man. That was awesome to like. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, she's going a bit into, just a little bit. There wasn't really much to add. It was just kind of her going like, she's just talking to the body, demanding to know what the fuck happened, why he fucking almost abandoned her in that sense in her mind, why he abandoned her, why he just refused to fucking get on the program to. Even Fate to love her would even be better than what she had to do, I would imagine, in her mind. I think even if he just pretended and was like, sure, I'll go with you, and then just go through with it, at least then she would have some kind of closure. But even then, like if you like with a stalker generally, like the moment you try to leave is that moment they will most likely try and kill you, which is weird, but it's kind of how stalkers go, unfortunately. I know it ain't the best like really way to treat people, but like it's interesting to see that kind of point of view. But the reason why I find this so enjoyable is because it's told by the point of view of, I'm gonna say, like children, teenagers, like, you know, like people much younger than we are. Like me personally, I don't know how old or young like a lot of you. I know a lot of you are older than I am. I'm in my early 30s now, so I know a lot of you have been listening to music for around all of my lifetime or some shit like that, man. But still, like, I enjoy listening to people's opinions on things that they shouldn't know about, like, you know, like the way they can interpret pain and the way they can interpret murder and everything like that. It's just super interesting to me. It's why I find lyrics and vocals kind of like such a great thing to analyze, because it just shows so many different variations, especially in the harsher vocals of metal. Like, that's what my whole channel is dedicated to, just finding the harshness in everything and just kind of breaking that down so it's more digestible and easier to understand, and kind of getting people into that heavier, but also even on the lighter side, just finding those songs that just have those deep dark meanings behind them. It's just amazing. And still, man, enough of me talking, man. I've been speaking for like 14 minutes already or something crazy. But still, man, let's jump into this and enjoy the life.
Tell me what I must do to return for what I did to your soul. Tell me to step over fire. What is your desire? 'Cause this is done. One more and it'll be done. The game you already won. Invincible, I am bleeding. I'm pleading. Listen to me. I know that it was just a mistake.
What, did her voice break there? Like, her voice didn't break, right? That's bad if her voice broke there. I hope not. Like, for her sake, I mean. I think she moved away from the microphone a bit too soon, but it sounded like you went, like, almost like a, that kind of sound, but still. Either way.
Tell me to tell you that it's alright.
Yeah, her voice broke.
When we take another step closer towards it all. Tell you to tell me to tell you that it's alright. But we know it ain't. 'Cause it has paid for pain. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Tell me, when did you get to decide? Was it a matter of pride? If it's the price of betraying, what is it of paying? It's overdue. Your reason is overdue. Come on, I just want the truth. Do I resemble the rage and the chains that tie you down? I know that it will stop it, but you don't forget that you don't forget that you don't forget. To tell you to tell me to tell you that it's alright. When we take another step closer towards it all. To tell you to tell me to tell you that it's alright. But we know it ain't. 'Cause it has paid for pain. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Come on! Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. To tell you to tell me to tell you that it's alright. When we take another step closer towards it all. To tell you to tell me to tell you that it's alright. But we know it ain't. 'Cause it has paid for pain. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh.
That was interesting. In fact, they were talking about talking to a dead body and turning it into a chant where the audience was singing along. Just a fun fact also. Did you know, wearing the band that are performing on stage in the metal scene is seen as disrespectful? Like, most people wear different bands to the bands they're going to see in order to kind of have, like, different things going around, so it's not just, like, a sea of one thing. Like, from like, in the UK, that's, like, how I've seen it anyway, personally. Like, that's just how it's always really been. Like, sometimes it's, sometimes, like, you obviously do, like, if you buy merch there, then obviously you want to wear it, but, like, you know what I mean, like, if you're not going to buy merch at the gig, it's kind of bad to wear the previous, if you know what I mean, like, I don't know, it's weird to me. I could have just done that, but, like, I don't know, it's just a fun thing that I just kind of noticed, but, unfortunately, like, as good as, like, they are, I know they're singing at altitude, so I know it's, like, very strenuous on their voice, but her voice is breaking, like, her voice was cutting out in places, her voice was going croaky, in a sense, like, she's kind of, like, losing her tone for her passion, if that makes sense. And I know that they're still young here, so that's completely fine. And I know they're singing with such passion and everything else, so it kind of makes up for it. But this was the first time that I've ever seen them be somewhat human and kind of just, like, not have full control over their range as much, which is interesting. I guess it means, like, the further along we get into the gig, the more tired they're going to get, so you're going to see how it plays out from here on out, because I'm paying attention to everything. Like, this is the most important part for me now, because the lead up is like, all well and good, the lead up is just the lead up, you know, like, that's just what anybody can come up with. But now from this point onwards, when we're going on towards the murder, away from the murder, how we're going to get away with the murder, if we're going to snap because of the murder, if we're going to get split personality, if we're going to kill more people, like, there's so many different ways we can go with this, there's so many avenues we can go, so I just want to see which way they kind of went with it. But besides that, man, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was awesome. Like, they just put on a really good show, but like, I just wish that, I hope that she's okay, because just hearing her voice crack like that just sounds painful, man. Like, for me, I like growl personally, so like, my voice doesn't work the same way when I'm doing stuff. But I definitely know what it feels like to have your voice kind of power out, like, you know, when you're in like a growl or like a deeper vocal, and your voice just kind of powers out of it, because like, you either putting too much force, not enough relaxation into your voice, or you're just at altitude, or you have some other cause, reason, or whatever, man. But fuck it. Can't wait to hear the next. Can't wait to see where we go with this. We still have, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more songs, because we already did Queen of the Murder Scene when I didn't even know what the fuck the warning were. Either way, have a wonderful day, evening, or night, and I will catch you guys in the very next video. Until then, take it easy.